So I've gotten a few questions on what my goals are now that I am debt free, what my money goals are, what my next steps are. So I thought I would sit down and take a minute to share with you guys what comes after getting out of debt. For those of you who don't know me, welcome. My name's Christina. I talk all about intentional living and intentional spending. And it was both of these things that helped me get out of over $120,000 of student loan debt. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel a lot. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. So if you've been following my channel for a while, then you know that I've been sort of following the Dave Ramsey baby steps in order to get out of debt as fast as I possibly could. It basically breaks down a wealth building journey into 7 baby steps, and you do each step one at a time in order to get out of debt and eventually build wealth to live on and to give away as well. So baby step 1 is to save a $1,000 starter emergency fund, and that is exactly what I did. And baby step 2 is to pay off all your debts, smallest to largest, until all of the debt is gone. That's called the debt snowball method. I will leave some more information down below if you are interested. So now that I am debt free, I have completed my debt snowball. That means I am now on baby step 3, which is to save your fully funded emergency fund. Dave Ramsey suggests anywhere between 3 to 6 months of living expenses, but post like Panini World, if 6 months still doesn't feel like enough, I'd say feel free to do an amount that you feel comfortable with, whether it be like 8 months, 10 months, or even a year's worth of living expenses, just to build your security blanket. For me, I have a goal of saving $20,000 in my fully funded emergency fund. And that is actually quite a bit more than 6 months of living expenses. For me, I just like the number 20. I like having that extra buffer, and that's what I'm comfortable with. And if I was doing fully Dave Ramsey style, then that means that you would build up that emergency fund with the same amount of intensity you would have used to pay off your debt. So still intensely budgeting, cutting a lot of expenses where you can, things like that. For me, I don't know, I think I've been a little bit Dave-ish the whole time because I still bought some clothes and some, non-essentials throughout my whole debt repayment journey. So I'm still kind of playing it the same to build up my emergency fund. And that is the thing, personal finance is completely personal. This is just what I'm doing, and this is not financial advice, by the way. So with some intense budgeting, I think I'll have my emergency fund complete by the end of the year. And then after that, I'm gonna be moving on to baby step 3B. So baby step 3B, I wasn't super clear on the definition, so I actually emailed the Ramsey team because I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Should I? And I didn't like the idea of delaying investing any more than I needed to. I'm gonna be 35 next year. I really don't wanna delay that much longer. And investing, your income comes in baby step 4. Hello, editing Christina. So I just want to clarify the delaying investing thing. So at my place of work, I actually have a pension and I could not opt out of that. Dave Ramsey is really staunch about opting out of any of your like 401k matches, your retirement matches at work, contributions, things like that. I never opted out of my pension, so I was still investing throughout all that time. But I did have some stocks and index funds that I was investing in. So I stopped contributing to those things and stopped actively buying stocks, Bitcoin, index funds. I stopped contributing to all of that to put towards my debt, but I was still contributing to my retirement fund through my work pension. Even though I was comfortable with the decision to stop investing in my other accounts, I had to really accept the trade-off that I was gonna miss out on some serious gains because of the way the stock market has been for the past couple of years. But if you have a 401k match, a retirement match, things like that, I would still stick with that because time is your best friend when it comes to investing. But I just wanted to clarify that. So once my emergency fund is saved, I'm going to be working towards saving for a down payment. So if you guys don't know, we are renting here in Toronto, and I do eventually want to own something of my own. I like the idea of that security. I know it's a lot more expensive than renting in many cases, and ownership is not for everybody, but for me right now, that's still a goal that I want to reach. So I really want to build up as robust of a down payment as possible, which I think will take a long time, but I also don't want to be delaying investing any further. So my next steps will be to simultaneously save a down payment while investing 10% of my income. So when I emailed the Ramsey team, technically when you're in baby step 4, you need to be investing, they recommend 15% of your annual gross income to be invested. But when you're in baby step 3B, which can be a down payment, and it can actually be anything that you're saving for, was how I understood it. So if you need to get a new car, it's like your new car fund. It can be your wedding fund. It can be a vacation fund. 3B is essentially like anything big that you want to be saving for. And the Ramsey people said that I shouldn't be delaying investing, so they recommended just to invest less than 15%. So I think I'll invest 10% of my income every single month just to get that going and save for that down payment at the same time. And then my final money goal is to lighten up a bit and have some fun. I think in general, I'm kind of an extreme person. There's very little gray in the way I approach things, and I'm very all or none. And that has helped me in many ways, but it has also really hurt me in probably more ways, including in ways that I spend my money. Before, that used to manifest in an extreme shopping addiction, and then it turned into extreme frugality, extreme minimalism, and feeling catastrophically guilty about any dollar I ever spent that was not on a need. And no, I'm not doing that anymore. So the thing about being debt-free is that in a lot of ways it doesn't feel any different because I still have a lot of big goals that I am saving towards and working towards and that I want to achieve as fast as I possibly can. But the difference is now is that because the debt is gone, there's no big threat hanging over my head anymore. That sort of sense of urgency has kind of dissipated a little bit, and that weight is off my shoulders. It really, it feels amazing. But in many ways, I have a lot of fear that I'll slip up again and just spend all of my disposable income on stuff and crap and be all overwhelmed all over again. And really I've proven to myself that that's not the case. I have bought some things that you guys have seen in some videos, and I've bought some things since that you haven't seen yet. And all of that to me has been done mindfully, thoughtfully, within my means, within my budget. And I don't have time to feel crappy about that anymore. I think now it's going to be a balance of continuing to be real with myself, really deciding if this is the best place for my money to go, and if I want to bring more things into my life, because it can still turn into clutter and still feel overwhelming and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm going to cut myself some slack. I recently read the book I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi, and I've recommended his book on my channel, and I talk about him on Instagram all the time. I love his money mindset because he's really all about having a conscious spending plan where you can spend extravagantly if you want to on the things that you enjoy and cut costs mercilessly on the things that you don't. The reality is, I think, for many of us, we don't have enough money to do it all. So it's allocating our funds mindfully to the things that we enjoy while still covering all of your other financial goals and your financial bases. I think in the past, in the way that I used to spend money, I kind of got all of that out of order. I wasn't investing in my future. I wasn't investing in myself. And I was using shopping as a crutch to medicate how I felt about myself. For me, now I'm on the other side. I've gotten to know myself. I've built a lot of confidence, and I'm debt-free. I have this weight and this sort of threat off of my shoulders. And I'm in this new sort of stage of life where I'm gonna be learning how to enjoy my money, enjoy the things that I enjoy without any guilt and without putting any sort of unrealistic expectations on myself or having fear around what others might think of it. And then money goal number 5 is to build up a sinking fund so that we can get a dog and I can pay cash for him and make sure I can pay for any medical emergencies that he ever might have. Because I really, really want a floof in our life. So a lot of you guys were curious about what comes next for me financially from a money standpoint now that I'm debt free. So I hope some of the things I talked about in this video helped shed some light on that. If you're working towards any debt free or financial goals, let me know some of them down below. I'm so excited for you. Keep going. You got this. And again, if you could leave this video a thumbs up if you liked it, it really helps out my channel a lot. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.